Hello, everyone. This is Embracing Your Essence on Lilydale Radio. I'm Colleen a registered medium at Lilydale, and I'm also a certified intuitive life coach. And I do want to clarify what a life coach is, because sometimes I get some questions and people think an intuitive life coach means I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, but that's not the case. As a coach, what I'm doing is guiding people to connect with their own inner power so they can create the life they want to have. I don't tell you what's going to happen or necessarily how to get there, although I will give you strategies, but it's to help people reclaim their power. So I want to thank you all for watching tonight and listening. If you're listening live on Blog Talk, I am, as I said, Colleen and if you're not following me on my page, you should do that. Colleen medium and intuitive life coach. And you should follow Lilydale as well, lilydaleassembly.org or Lilydale Assembly Incorporated on Facebook. And today we are going to be talking about letting go of fear. We are living in quite the fearful time, as you have gathered, not just because of the virus that is going on and everybody's freaking out about it. I shouldn't say everybody. Some people are freaking out about it. So not just because of that, but we've been in this time of fear for quite some time. It's very easy for us to fall into that state of fear and get trapped in there and not be sure how to get out of it. So today I'm going to talk about fear. I'm going to give you some strategies to help you detach from the fear so you can move forward, not getting sucked down into that spiral of depression and all of that. So let's see. If you have questions, feel free, of course, to ask them through the Facebook feed. I will catch them if I do, and I can answer them there. And of course, share the show. So hello. Hi, Mick. Hi, Karen. Thanks for joining. Hi, Deb. Nice to see you. So as I said, we are going to talk about letting go of fear. I thought about this last week when I was watching the news about the virus and all of that. And part of this, the fear that people are experiencing with that, and don't worry, I'm not going to talk about that all night. That's just an example. Part of it is some misinformation that was out there for quite some time and may still be. And we have this fear of the unknown. So we latch onto this fear. And then it becomes such a big part of us that we're clinging to it. I went out with my sister Karen and her family the other day, and her son, Cody, and he knows I'm going to talk about him, so it's all good. Cody is amazing. He's an amazing actor and singer, so smart. You know, he's just really a wonderful child. So we went out, though I shouldn't call him a child because he is 13, but we went out and had a really nice adventure during the day. And as we were talking, it came out that Cody wants to kind of be in a plastic bubble. He wants to be protected from things that are around him that cause him fear, things that make him uncomfortable. And he said he didn't want to step outside of his comfort zone because he was afraid he might get killed. We tried to convince him that part of life is having fun and stepping outside of that comfort zone, doing things that are fun and different, things we may not have done before. We did talk about don't be stupid. I use the example of jumping out of an airplane without a parachute. That would be something stupid to do. But we talked about the limiting himself by staying in this bubble, protecting himself from fear. Now, he's an actor. He performs in shows all over the place. He's an amazing actor. And so I tried the angle of, well, the more things you experience, the better you're going to be as an actor. And he wasn't buying it. He just wasn't buying it. And he told me and my sister Karen that we are old and we do things because we're not afraid to die. In other words, because we're old, we're more willing to take risks. So we had an interesting conversation there because I had said to him that I was looking for another story to say on the show because I didn't want to talk about the virus all night. And then he was telling me this, so he knows he's contributing to the show tonight. So I appreciate that. Hi, Ray. Nice to see you. So what happens in our brains? Our brains are wired to look for danger. It's wired to look for things that we should be scared of because the brain wants to protect us. So the brain naturally gravitates towards things. What happens, unfortunately, though, is we can pick up something and make it bigger in our heads. Our minds move into that fear vibration and it amplifies. It gets stronger and stronger. Fear limits us in so many different ways. We may be afraid to say something. We may be afraid to do something. I told you about this past summer how I confronted my fear of heights by going on a ropes course and zip lining. These were things I said I would never, ever do in this lifetime, but yet I had to face the fear and do them. So fear can limit us. I wouldn't have had the satisfaction of confronting that fear if I hadn't just stepped up and did it. So we don't want fear to limit us from living our lives and limiting who we are as people. We worry about the future. This fear stops us from so many things, but the big thing for me is it stops us from recognizing how powerful we are. The power that we have within to overcome our challenges, to choose how to live our lives, to choose what is meaningful to us, and then move in that direction. Fear stops us and puts another layer on top of us, hiding our power, hiding our true self. And then we disconnect from our center. When we've disconnected from our center, we don't have the power, and we can be like a boat that doesn't have the rudder working. We can just be drifting along and have no idea how to get back on course, how to save ourselves from just mindlessly drifting along, feeling helpless to change how we feel or powerless in any way to make things better. So I'm checking the comments. Cody says, hi, old person. Hi, Cody. Hi, young man. And hi, Darlene. Nice to see you. And hello, Susan. So fear is so interesting because it does stop us from becoming ourselves. But also, let's just think for a second about the law of attraction. The law of attraction is an energetic law that whatever we're thinking about, whatever we want or don't want, whatever we're thinking, focused on, that's what we're going to attract to us. All of these people who are getting all upset about the virus, and that's all they're thinking about. They're researching it. They're trying to, they're looking up the symptoms to see if they have them, and they're afraid that they meet somebody, they're going to get it. That's what they're thinking about. The universe sees that and says, oh, you're thinking about that. You must want that. Let me give it to you. Okay. So whatever we are thinking about, it is the law of attraction. Excuse me. It's allergies. No worries. It's an energetic thing that's happening. The universe understands what's in our head, but we don't understand what's in our head. And we let it go crazy, creating all sorts of things. This doesn't mean that everything that happens to you that's bad or something you don't like is because you created it. Life happens. Things happen in life that we don't create. But our minds are so very powerful, directly connected to the universal energy. And if we're focused on something, obsessed about something, scared of something to the point that it is affecting how we're living, we are going to attract more of that to us. The law of attraction. Way it is, it's a fact, can't change it. Okay, you can't change it. So we have to shift the mind. We have to shift the mind away from those negative thoughts, those negative emotions. You know how quickly we can go down that rabbit hole? We have a thought, and the next thing you know, we have taken this train of thought way off track. We have just gone and gone and gone. It could start out with as simple as you hear somebody cough, and then you think, oh my goodness, I wonder if they have that. If I get that, this is going to happen. And then all of a sudden, you have planned out the next 6 months of your life because you let your brain go crazy. So we are going to talk about some ways to stop that. I'm going to give you some strategies to stop it, to make the decision to stop letting your mind have free reign and do whatever the heck it wants. So we do have, and I want to talk about fear a little bit because we do have legitimate, healthy fear. Okay. And I know somebody out there is going, but this is a healthy fear. Well, yes, but not. Okay. A healthy fear, a legitimate healthy fear. You're driving down the road, somebody pulls right in front of you. That's a healthy fear. You're driving down the road and a tiger comes out. That's a healthy fear. I'm walking in the water. I see an alligator. That's a healthy fear. I want to move. Okay. Those things that really threaten our existence, things like that. Then we have the manufactured fear, the fear that our mind creates, the story we tell ourselves about all of these horrible things that could happen to us. This is a sign of being helpless and powerless. We are allowing that manufactured fake fear to take over. Unfortunately, our body doesn't know the difference. It doesn't know the difference between a healthy fear and a made up fear. So whatever fear you're having, your body is going to react. And again, the universe steps in to provide whatever it is you're thinking about. So we have to figure out a different way to move out of that. There's the fear of the unknown, the fear of uncertainty, the fear of being out of control, the fear of having no partner and dying alone. Excuse me, allergies. So that's a big fear. A lot of people have this, the fear of not having a partner. What if you, and here's another fear. What if I get sick and there's nobody there to help me? What am I going to do? Okay. We have the fear of financial struggles. We have the fear of phobias, snakes, spiders, whatever. We have the fear of public speaking, which is really a fear of judgment. We have the fear of failure. We have the fear of not getting what we want. Oh, I could go on and on and on. The big one, of course, and this is the one that's affecting a lot of people right now, is the fear of death. What if something happens and I die? Well, okay. So what if something happens and you die? There you go. You could be walking down the street and then, a meteor falls on you. So if we fixate on that idea, it's like we're obsessing to the point that we've lost our brain totally. We're just lost our brain. So we're trying to control everything by worrying, and we feel like we have to do something. So some of us will become safe and small and won't do anything at all. We'll be paralyzed in the fear. We'll stay home. And I'm not telling you to go out, with the virus. You do what's right for you. But some of us, not just with the virus, but other things, we don't want to go out and meet people, so we stay home all the time. We have a fear of offending somebody, so we don't speak our mind. Whatever it is, we keep ourselves safe and small. We don't share our authenticity with other people. We don't live our lives fully and completely. We are stuck in this small little bubble trying to protect ourselves. In the case of the virus, people are stockpiling things, thinking they're going to be quarantined for, 6 months or a year or something. Some of the stuff they're stockpiling, I don't quite get. We know normal hygiene. We're also in the midst of flu season. So there's a lot of reasons to wash your hands and try to be as healthy as possible. Okay, fear limits your joy. It stops you from being yourself. I believe, my theory as of today, may change it tomorrow, is that the biggest fear we have is the fear of not really knowing how powerful we are. We may be totally unaware that we have this power that can help us handle anything, absolutely anything that comes into our lives. We don't realize it's there. What we can do, though, is use this fear. If we're willing to explore it, willing to think about it, and instead of cowering in fear, being scared, limiting our lives, to look at the fear and say, hey, what's going on here? Why am I so scared? What's affecting me? What is it that bothers me here? If we can use this fear to learn more about ourselves, then we can take some action, legitimate, healthy action, towards learning more about the fear, learning more about ourselves, whatever it is that we need to do so we can move forward. We are responsible for how we live our lives. We're responsible for the choices we make, and we're responsible for how we respond to our issues, our concerns, our challenges, our problems. I believe there are 3 fundamental rules of life. One is the responsibility. We are responsible for ourselves. The next one is that we have a choice. We can always make a choice to change our minds, to change our actions, reactions, and responses. We always have a choice. And the third fundamental rule I like is that we are unlimited. We are never constrained by fear. We are never constrained by our circumstances unless we allow ourselves to be constrained. And we have the choice to do that or not do that. It's up to you. Thank you, Joanna. Mick is saying none of us are getting out of this alive. And what he means, for those of you who are wondering, he's talking about life. We are all going to reach the end at some point. I know we all want it to be a little bit later, but life is what it is. So I want what I want. I want you to make choices that reflect who you truly are at your soul level. Who are you? Think about that just for a minute. Who are you? I know we have our labels, a teacher, mother, daughter, friend, all of those labels. But who are you at the soul level? You're a being of light and love. You're a being of infinite strength and power that is connected to the spirit universal energy, the God energy, whatever you want to call that infinite energy. Let me try that again. That infinite energy there. You are directly connected. You are a part of that infinite energy. That's who you are at the soul. If you are that at the soul level, think about that. You have everything at your disposal. You can be who you want to be. You can choose your responses to your fears. You can choose to change everything. If you're not happy with how something's going, what can you do to change it? You have the responsibility to make yourself feel better. Some people don't want to feel better. Some people want to be, they like to complain. They like to whine. They like to feel helpless. For some people, it's almost like a badge of honor. Everything's going wrong with me. So look at me, so there's something with that. But I see Helen is saying conquering fear can be exhilarating. It certainly can be exhilarating. And it doesn't have to be a physical fear like conquering my fear of heights, which was exhilarating. But it can also be conquering the fear that you don't feel good enough, that you don't feel powerful enough to change your life, to make your life as wonderful as possible. So let's talk about some ideas here for letting go of the fear. We all know what fear is. I don't need to just keep describing it, right? First, you need to be aware of how you're reacting. We just react. We don't think so many times. But once we become aware, we can objectively look at ourselves and say, you know what, this is what I do when I'm scared. Somebody who's having a question about their health, and I'm not talking about the virus, any question about the health. What do? Okay, we're having some symptoms of something. What do? We get on Google. We ask Dr. Google, what's wrong with us? We investigate all these symptoms. And although that can be helpful, at times it can also lead you into more fear, because you may come across diseases you never even thought about, where those outcomes are horrible. So we have to, if that's what you tend to do, recognize that's what you're doing and decide if that's what you want to be doing. Is that who you are at the soul level? I love to Google things. I love to get information about things. But I also understand that sometimes the things I might find on there, not talking just health issues, but whatever I find, sometimes that stuff's not accurate. So we have to be discerning in what we're doing when we're investigating. Find out how you respond normally. How do you do it? I have a friend on Facebook who is going crazy with this virus. It's all she can talk about. Every post, and there are many a day, is about the virus and how people should be doing this and that, and why haven't they done this and why haven't they done that. And the more she's investigating this, the more it's on the forefront of her mind. And she's already been through one illness. And at the time I was thinking, that's interesting. But I don't know what this is doing to her mental health as well. There's one thing to be prepared, to understand what's happening. It's another thing to let the fear take you away and lose your sense of being anchored in this physical life, anchored in yourself. Jody is saying we always have a choice. And yes, we do. We always have a choice. We don't have to stay stuck in that fear. What you want to do, find out how you're responding to the fear. First, find out how you're doing that. Then maybe explore some facts, but be discerning. Don't believe everything you read. Some of the things that are out there are on the edge, so we say. And some things are being hyped up a little too much. The media, as you know, likes to broadcast negative things because it gets our attention. So we watch or we read. So be discerning. Okay, the next thing. We need to make the decision to break the habit of allowing fear to take over. It is a choice. It's a choice. You don't have to allow your mind to run wild. Once we let it run wild, it multiplies. The thoughts, the worries, everything multiplies. You are responsible for your thoughts. You're responsible for this. And I know somebody is saying right now, but I can't stop it. The word but means you're giving away your power, or you've given it away. But I can't stop it. But I don't know how. I'll give you some strategies. Don't worry. But take it back. Don't allow yourself to do this. And I know somebody's also out there going, but I could die from this. Well, yes. Okay. Maybe the chances are so small. Okay. that that's going to happen. I don't want to minimize this or trivialize what's happening, but I want you to understand the bigger picture. Okay. More people are dying from the flu. And I know somebody now is going, but the ratio, well, we don't really have our denominator for that ratio. We don't have a denominator. We don't really know how many people have had the virus. So the ratio is wrong to begin with. Okay. And like I said, I don't want to talk about that all night. So, but okay. I never want to jump out of an airplane. I'm not going to in this lifetime. Maybe next time I will. And I could say, well, I'm not going to jump out of that, but I'm afraid I might die. I'm afraid this, I might have a heart attack on the way down or whatever. The but shows me that I've disconnected. Pay attention to your words. Pay attention. It's not an opportunity to judge yourself. It's not an opportunity to say, oh, I'm such a horrible person because I'm thinking this way. No. That's not what we're doing. It's observing yourself and going, oh, I'm curious. Look at how I'm responding to this. I have a habit of Googling too much, or I have a habit of complaining, or I have a habit of worrying so much about what's happening that that's all I'm talking about. Remember, the more you talk about something, the more you think about something, you're attracting it. So you become aware of how you're responding, and then you choose to change it. You make the decision to change it. Mick is saying, how much of our lives we just plain waste with fear and anxieties. I know, isn't that something? We do. It's human, and we all fall into it at times. I'm sure somebody must not, but pretty much everybody I know, we fall into it. So pay attention there. So to shift away from this fear, we want to have a plan. We want to have some thoughts ahead of time to shift our perspective. First, we have to have that ability, that belief within ourselves that yes, we are responsible and yes, we can make a choice to change it. That's the first, most fundamental step. If you don't believe you can change it, you're going to have a hard time changing it. So contemplate that idea. If it's something hard for you to grasp, just sit with it a little bit. I have the power to change how I'm feeling. I have the power to create the life I want to have. I am responsible and can make the choice to live life happier, with more contentment, with more joy. I'm responsible to do this. So what we want to do is take your power back. We want to take your power back and be confident in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in your power. Be courageous. When you're courageous, you're brave. You do something anyway. Even if you're scared, you do it anyway. Okay. You take action. You change your mind. Even if you don't think it's possible, you go for it and you give it a whirl. You can do, of course, affirmations and visualizations and intentions. Okay. Affirmations are positive statements that you make using positive words. I am healthy. I am powerful. I am a kind and caring person. I connect with my inner soul and I allow my soul to be expressed, whatever it may be. Visualization is when we visualize something. Maybe we visualize ourselves healthy and whole. Maybe we visualize ourselves creating something we wanted to create. Maybe we visualize ourselves connecting with other people and providing guidance for them. Whatever is right for you. Intentions are when you use the power of your words to create your life, your day. Every morning before I get out of bed, I set my intention for the day. I usually lay there and go, okay, my intention for today is, and then I think, how do I want my day to go? Do I want it to be happy? Do I want it to be productive? What is it I want? And so I think about the emotions that would go with it. I set my intention that today I am going to be as happy as possible. I'm going to be productive. I'm going to finish writing. I'm going to whatever it is. And then with that, I have this feeling of an affirmation with it. I am powerful. I am connected to God. I am connected to spirit. The words that come through my mouth are directly connected and are here to help people. Whatever comes through for you. So you can break this fear hold by using affirmations, visualizations, and intentions. Some people say, well, those don't work. Now, I say things all the time and it doesn't work. You have to be very careful how you use your words. You want to say, I am, very powerful to say, I am, not I want to, or I try, or I'm going to. Those are not as powerful. I am, very powerful. Use that. You want to make sure you use present statements, present time statements, and you want to, how can I say this without saying it wrong? You don't want to use the word not. I am not sick, okay? Because the universe does not hear the word not, okay? It hears I am sick and will make you sick. I am healthy is a much better alternative there. I am peaceful. My mind is peaceful and calm. You can't say, well, you can say it, but don't say it. I don't worry. I'm not a worrywart. No. What would be the positive way of saying you're not a worrywart? I am calm. I'm peaceful. I focus on the good. So be very aware of how your words are being used. What's happening when we use those words, the I am and the positive phrases, is we're connecting to the energy. We're connecting the energy within our body, connecting to the universal energy. And we're affirming that these are things we knowingly want and are requesting to be in our lives. We expect them to come into our lives. So the choices of the words we use are very positive. When you catch yourself falling into fear, plan ahead of time. What would be a great affirmation, visualization, or intention, whatever you want to use, that would help you? What fits for you? What makes you feel strong, powerful, and courageous? Maybe that's it. I am strong, powerful, and courageous. Okay. Don't continue it with, and I don't let fear get in my way. No. The opposite of fear is trust, which we will talk about shortly. So you allow yourself to take control, regain your power, and be intentional in choosing your response to fear. Intention, affirmations, and visualizations. Okay. Mindfulness, getting back into the present. What happens when we're in fear? We're worrying about what's going to happen, what might happen, a possible happening. And how many times have we worried about something and it never came to pass? Never did. We wasted all that time, experienced all those negative emotions, and then it never happened. And even if it did happen, you still wasted all that time worrying and all those negative emotions. But so frequently these things don't happen. Tom is saying, in this moment, I choose peace. That is beautiful, Tom. That is beautiful. I like to use the phrase, in this present moment, everything is perfect. So it helps me get out of my head, out of my worries, back into this moment. We live our lives in the moments. If we're wasting them worrying about something that might happen, but probably isn't going to, then we have totally lost this moment and we're never going to get it back. Our lives are made up of all of these moments and we want to have them be as wonderful as possible. I'm looking to see what Dylan's saying. I just saw the sequel to Frozen the other day. They're both centered around self-worth and not being afraid to be yourself. Yes. And that is so important because when we are ourselves, thank you, Dylan, for helping me lead into this. Because when we are ourselves, living true to who we really are, our courageous selves, our courageous beings, we aren't trapped in fear. And if we get sucked in for a second, we know how to get out of it. We understand ourselves. We understand how we're reacting, why we're reacting, and we make different choices because we're in the power of ourselves. So being yourself leads you to your power. It's a beautiful thing. So mindfulness, being in the present, pay attention to what's going on here. Something I do besides saying those phrases and like Tom's phrase about this moment, I choose peace, is also to get back into our bodies. Just take a moment. Literally, what would it be? 30 seconds to just close your eyes, check in, breathe, and just feel yourself, feel your body, feel your feet touching the ground. Just kind of breathe and go back into your center. You're making the choice to get back. 30 seconds it would take you to get back into the present moment. If you get back in that present and immediately your brain starts going off again, which it might, because that's how our brains can be, just do it again. Bring yourself back. Focus on your body. Focus on your breath. Our brains have had free reign for a long time. It's going to take a little bit for us to reclaim our power of our mind and bring it back to ourselves, but we can do this. So we can mindfulness, come back to the bottom of the body, come back to the body, touch the floor, touch your chair, whatever it is, be there. Makes a difference. As soon as you feel yourself drifting away, come right back. You're making the choice and you're being responsible. Isn't that awesome? Barb is sending peace and love. Love it. So the next thing you can try, of course, is meditation. And I know everybody's like, oh, meditation. Everybody knows that. And how about everybody who doesn't do it, who thinks they know it, but yet they don't? Okay. Again, a 1 minute meditation, a 2 minute meditation. If you cannot keep your mind from going crazy, I call it crazy brain. And if crazy brain takes over on you, that's okay. Look up online and find guided meditations. There's all sorts of apps you can get to help with guided meditations. You can go on YouTube and find some music that has binaural beats. You can find some healing music on YouTube, all sorts of things out there where you don't have to consciously engage your mind. Let the music or a guided meditation help you get to that moment of peace. That's okay to do. So meditation, breathe, music, something that's uplifting. So those are some ideas. I'm going to keep going. There's more. But those are a few right there. Pay attention to your words. If you use the word but, you're giving away your power. That works not only for fear, but anything else. I wanted to do this, but I can't because whatever. I want to do that, but, okay, but is a big disempowering word. Then pay attention. Choose affirmations, visualizations, intentions, mindfulness, be in the present, meditation. Look at that, a whole bunch of things right away. The opposite of fear is trust, okay? Now, I know we've been taught in the new age thing that the opposite of love is fear, and that is true as well. But in this case, of what I'm talking about tonight, the opposite of fear is trust. We have to trust ourselves. Believe in ourselves, believe in that power, trust ourselves that we can handle it. We begin to trust the process of life. Life happens. Things happen we have no control over. But we do have control over our responses. So we have to trust that life happens the way it happens. But I also believe that whatever is going on in our lives is an opportunity for us to reconnect to our power, to reconnect to ourselves, to learn more about ourselves. When we trust in the process of life, we are also moving into the feeling of acceptance, that even though we don't have control over some things, we accept that that's the way it is. When we resist whatever's happening, that's what gets us going again. And we've talked about that in the past. But resistance is a sign, of course, of not accepting. And resistance is what brings up all of those emotions that makes us feel horrible. We want things to be a certain way. So you want to be able to trust, not necessarily that things are going to come out the way you want them to come out. We've talked about detaching from specific outcomes, but that you're trusting that they're going to happen the way they're supposed to be happening in the big scheme of life. And again, I know somebody out there right now is going, but, and they're stepping right back in the fear. Make the choice to not step into the fear. There are things you cannot control. Why try to control external things when all you can control is your internal reactions and then your external responses? Those are the only things you can control. You cannot control something that's uncontrollable. So if you have this fear of the unknown, and get the facts, trust that the outcome will be perfect. Remember, the perfect that we may or may not understand. It's okay. The big picture sometimes is bigger than we can comprehend as humans. We may never understand the bigger picture until the end of our lives, or we've passed to the other side, and then we can look back and go, oh, I get it now. I see, I understand. I know why my life was the way it was. So we will find those things out later. I don't know how many times I've had a spirit come through during a reading who talks about, I understand now, I get it. I understand what I needed to learn as they proceed to apologize to the people they've left behind for various reasons. So we want to practice trusting. If we intellectually understand trusting, yes, we can trust ourselves, we can trust God, we can trust spirit. Some people don't trust God or spirit, but we can intellectually understand it. But until we practice it, putting it into action, that's when it becomes a true understanding and a true belief where we are living and acting from our soul level. It does take practice. You can understand me intellectually and say, this is wonderful, this is great. But the next time you fall into the fear, then step back a little bit and say, okay, now I'm going to practice trusting myself. I'm going to practice trusting spirit. I'm going to practice trusting God. I'm going to trust the process of life. I'm going to trust that I have the ability to handle this. Whatever you want to trust at that time, trust it. We can, of course, now here's an advantage of people who do believe in God, spirit, universal energy, being able to connect with that infinite energy, that we can pray and use prayers. We can use prayers to ask for the highest and the best, to be guided to becoming our true, authentic, wonderful selves, to be guided to being courageous, brave, fearless, if possible. We can pray for those things, and we can expect the greatness to come to us and the guidance to come to us. Again, a caution on not attaching to a specific outcome. Of course, I understand when we have someone around us who's ill or we're ill ourselves, of course, we're praying for good health. We're praying to be healed. So pray for that, and also add, and for whatever is the highest and the best, or show yourself to me and give me peace, whatever it may be. I was reading a story the other day about someone who was seriously ill, and I mean seriously ill. And they were in the hospital, and it was quite hopeless looking. And as they were lying there, they were praying, and all of a sudden they felt as though they were enveloped in a hug. They felt this energy around them. And it felt so reassuring that they immediately had this sense of peace and love. They believed it to be, and I do too, a connection with God or angels that came to give them peace. After this episode, she said she didn't really care so much about being healed because she understood that she was surrounded and was part of this greater loving force. And of course, she was healed. The symptoms, everything she'd had disappeared, and she was healed. But before she realized this or knew it, she had detached from her need to be healed, and instead was happy to have experienced that love, peace, and joy that came to help her recognize how connected and how enveloped she was in that love. So we don't always know that big picture. So we have to just go with it, right? Sending up the love, the prayers, and asking for guidance and help is wonderful. And I do recommend doing it. Prayers are powerful. They are very powerful. They can help people heal. They can help people get into that state of peace that they so desperately need. You have the power to choose. You're responsible. You can get out of this sphere. You don't have to stay sucked in it. Madeline is saying, it is what it is, accept and have faith. Faith is very powerful, isn't it? We want to have faith. Faith can be built on scripture or academic or that, but also faith can be built upon our experiences and stepping out in the faith, acting in faith, trusting in it. When we take that simple, small step of trust and action, we are letting the universe know that, yes, we are trusting. We believe you're here for us. We understand. You know, we may have that little bit of doubt in there, but the action of trusting as best we can is so much bigger than that teeny little bit of doubt. The more we practice trusting, the easier it becomes to trust. Isn't that amazing? It really is. The fear is something. We are living in a fear-based time. I've talked previously about the consciousness shift that we are experiencing here. So many people are waking up and recognizing the powers we have to create a better life. They're recognizing the connection to the universal energy. Their vibrations are raising. But there are also some people who are not waking up yet. They have not awakened. And we who are more aware of this awakening and this shifting in consciousness are acting as a guide for other people. It's not that we're going and saying, do it this way. This is how you should do it. We're not doing that. No, we're being ourselves, letting our own light shine so we can guide other people by our light, not by force, not by control, not by feelings of superiority or ego. We are here being ourselves, helping to lift other people up vibrationally. This is very important to understand, especially during this time of fear. Okay. And I hate to even say it like that because it sounds so factual. Okay. Let me call it the perceived time of fear, because even though people are experiencing it, it's not really real. It's an illusion. The fear is an illusion. That might be something to remember. The fear is an illusion. That might be a good affirmation or intention. Fear is an illusion. I let it go. Oh, there's something else you could do. And then I'll stop talking. I have a wonderful strategy I use whenever I get stuck in worry, fear, anything that's bothering me and my mind's going a little crazy. And I've talked about it before, but for people who may not have heard it before, it's called let go and trust. And what you do is you just say, I let go of, and you list everything you want to let go of. I want to let go of fear. I want to let go of anger. I want to let go of frustration. I want to let go of obsessive thinking. I want to let go of allowing other people to influence me, whatever it can be. You just go, 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 go. I let go, let go, let go, I let go, let go. And you just keep saying it until you feel complete. And then you move into I trust. I trust that my power is going to be here for me. I trust that I'm courageous. I trust that I'll make the right choices. I trust that the universe and God will help me in my choices. I trust I will be guided, and whatever you want to say. It's a fun, simple, easy process. Straight to the point, easy to remember. I let go and trust. Say it out loud. It's not something where you're going to sit there and go, oh, I should let go of this. No, it's whatever pops into your head. Okay, this is not something to think about. You just go, go, go. One word leads to the next, leads to the next, leads to the next. And before you know it, when you finish it, your energy will be so much lighter. I guarantee it. I have seen it with my clients. I've seen it with myself. It will make you feel so much lighter. And then if something comes up later, do it again. Easy to do. And it's changing yourself energetically. And very important for us, because when we do that exercise, we are letting go of our fear. We're trusting ourselves. We're trusting our power. How amazing is this? I think this is just so amazing. We have so many abilities to be able to create the life we want to have, to live the life we want to have. And it's actually rather simple when you think about it. You're responsible for yourself. You can make choices to change your response and choose to do it. Just choose to do it. And the strategies I gave you can help you get there. I don't know. I just get so excited when I have something to tell you that is so helpful, especially because I'm watching what's happening. And I just wonder. So there you have it. And I think that's all I need to talk about. I just want to make sure I haven't missed any good comments that I should have responded to. That I didn't get to. Conquering fear, we talked about that. Yes, how awesome is that? So I really want to thank you guys for watching and listening tonight. I hope this has been helpful, because I love to be helpful, but I hope it's been helpful to give you some practical strategies to get a grip on what's going on in our lives today, not just the virus, but also the other fears that we have that sometimes get in the way. Well, they do get in the way of us living our joyful life, being our joyful, empowered selves. So thank you so much for watching. You can connect with me at my website, ColleenVanderzijden.com. And if you don't want to spell that, try psychic medium, Colleen.com. If you haven't followed me here on my page. It's Colleen Vanderzijde, medium and intuitive life coach. And every week I have a radio show. I will not have one next week, however, though, because I'm going to Universal Studios on Tuesday. But I have a show usually every week, and I like to provide some helpful information for you. Make sure you're following lilydaleassembly.org. This is the website. Lilydale Assembly Incorporated on Facebook. The summer program is supposed to be out by the end of the month. That's only, 3 weeks away or so. So we will soon know everything that's going to be happening at Lilydale. If you don't know what Lilydale is, visit the website. It is the largest spiritualist community in the world. People come from all over the world to take self-improvement workshops, study mediumship, healing, get healings, have readings, all sorts of things. I know they're making a new website. So the one that is up there now does not have new information, but you can still get some information there. I do believe the spring workshops might be on that website, but the new website is coming up. Okay. I think I have told you everything. Looking to see, I'd love to hear you on the consciousness shift, maybe a future radio show. Yes. I have talked about that in the past, Miss Baba Yaga. I have talked about it. I don't know how long ago, so it may be on my page, my Facebook page, in the video section. So I think I did that already. So thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. And you guys have a great week or two, and I will see you soon. Bye.